that being said, there's a post that has just been released from the Indiana Fever, and fans are definitely, when I tell you watching, they're watching the Fever like a hawk. Now, I'm sitting here trying to plan out my week so I can map out these next coming weeks with going to games because it's getting hot in the kitchen and we need boots back on the ground, bro. So here we come. But there was a picture that had come out today. Now, after we talk about this picture,
The situation surrounding Sophie Cunningham and the Indiana Fever front office continues to raise eyebrows. An injury report surfaced, confirming Cunningham is dealing with an elbow issue stemming from a fall in the team's most recent game. The timing, softball, fall, however, has not gone unnoticed by those paying close attention to how the organization operates, particularly given the pattern of sidelining players who step outside the program's established boundaries. A photo released by the Indiana Fever brought the situation back into focus. Musician Kid Cudi paid a visit to the team, and a group shot was taken with the players.
after we talk about this picture, we got to talk about the Fever All Star situation. So, this is the photo that was released yesterday. Now, if you guys don't know, Kid Cudi was there. He's a musician. And as we can see here, Sophie Cunningham is not in the picture. Now, I'm trying to see is anybody else missing, but I'm not seeing nobody else missing.
Cunningham was absent from that photo. She was spotted at the facility, visible in separate footage, wearing pants rather than practice gear. But she was not on the court and did not appear to participate in the session. Every other player was accounted for in the team image. Cunningham was the only one missing. Whether the elbow injury is the full explanation, or whether something else is keeping her away from team activities remains an open question.
Guys, drop down in the comment section. Let me know if you guys see anybody else missing. I don't think. There's him and Kaylin. There we go. So Sophie was there. Sophie was definitely there, but it looked like Sophie did not practice. She's wearing pants. So I don't remember seeing her wear these sneakers, but she definitely was there, but she was not in the photo.
The optics, combined with the broader context of how the franchise has handled players who have drawn attention to internal friction, have led many observers to wonder if there is more going on beneath the surface. On a separate note, All-Star voting has officially opened. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark are all on the ballot representing the Fever. Voting is available through the team's official website for anyone with a WNBA account. Meanwhile, a lighter moment made the rounds involving Aaliyah Boston reacting to a flopping incident from an earlier game against the Golden State Valkyries.
Which means that Sophie did not practice. Now, Sophie did have on her jersey in that picture. Now, here's the here. Him and Caitlin.
Thank you. Brandon. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. All right, let's go.
And 3, 2, 1.
You're awesome.
This is so dope. Like
Boston and a teammate watched the clip back together and could not contain their amusement at the exaggerated fall, joking that the performance deserved award recognition, and gave a glimpse into the team's Lanark chemistry, away from the heavier storylines dominating coverage. Stephanie White also addressed the game-winning shot against Washington in a separate interview. She confirmed the play was designed specifically to get Caitlin Clark an opportunity at the end of regulation. The wrinkle, she explained, was that the defense sent 2 players toward Lexi Hull, which shifted Clark further from her expected position.
Yo, like, dude is like super excited. Kid Cudi is. This is him and Kaylin here.
I go.
Oh,
Fine.
him and Raven Johnson, but yeah, bro. I'm trying to see if they pan the camera around to Sophie. Yeah, it don't look like
Sophie Cunningham read the adjustment and delivered the pass to Clark at the right angle and at exactly the right moment for the shot to go up cleanly. White credited both the structure of the play and the ability of the players to process what the defense was doing in real time and respond accordingly. The combination of preparation and in-game decision-making, she noted, is what allowed the moment to come together the way it did. Sheza was scheduled to face the Chicago Sky next, a matchup carrying its own set of challenges, given Chicago's backcourt depth and paint presence. Heading into the contest, the Indiana Fever escaped with a win over the Chicago Sky, but it was far from clean.
Yeah, it don't look like Sophie practiced. I don't think Sophie practiced yesterday. I don't even see her on the court. I did see her in a picture, but I definitely did not see her on the court. Now, the game is today. We're playing the Sun. I mean, not the Sun, the Sky. My apologies. And yeah, it should be a very, very good game. They should get another win. They should beat the brakes off of them. Now, news broke today that All-Star voting has been open. Leah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and yours truly.
The Fever held a 19-point advantage at one stage and still let the game drag into overtime. The Sky, now sitting at 4-9 on the season, nearly pulled off something that would have been genuinely embarrassing. The Wolves moved to 7-5. Barely. Caitlin Clark put up 32 points on 8 of 18 shooting, went a perfect 15 of 15 from the free throw line, pulled down 7 rebounds, and dished out 10 assists. She was in triple-double range for stretches of the game and looked sharp when she was on the floor moving freely.
Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and yours truly, Shagoat, Caitlin Clark. Now, if you guys want to vote, you click here. So you click on fever.com. Share this here with you guys. So this is the website that you'll come to vote for CC. So I'm finna vote now. Quick vote. And you know, I'm voting for CC. Sign in. Oh, man, I ain't finna let y'all know my login. But this is just...
Aaliyah Boston matched the effort with 34 points on 13 of 26 shooting and 12 rebounds for her own double-double, though there were moments in the game where her decision-makings raised eyebrows, particularly on the defensive end, which has been a visible weak spot. Nalissa Smith quietly had one of the better performances of the night. Her stat line, 5 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a standout block, undersells how physical and impactful she was throughout. Michaela Timpson added 4 points, but contributed 6 important rebounds off the bench.
Let y'all know my login, but this is how you do it, bro. Boom. So Caitlin Clark is already on there, so you can just sign into your WNBA account and you will vote there. Hold on, you guys is not seeing this, are you? Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, so like you guys are sign in here and you can vote for those 3, but I am convinced at this point that yeah. Sophie Cunningham.
Lexi Hull played 32 minutes and finished with 11 points on 3 of 13 shooting. A rough efficiency night. Kelsey Mitchell ended with 19 points and 3 assists, but mixed in some questionable shot selections that stalled possessions at critical moments. Her reluctance to give up the ball in certain situations continues to be a pattern. Strategically, the game had a familiar shape.
Caitlin Clark had a gargantuan game, and I put her on triple-double alert early in the game, but Stephanie White took her out for a while in the second quarter and let her come back in. Finally, 32 points, 8 of 18, 15 of 15 from the line, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. A great all-around game from Caitlin Clark. 34 points, 13 of 20.
The Fever opened the first quarter with pace, pushing in transition and creating easy looks. Then the tempo shifted, slowed into a half-court possession game that removed the
34 points, 13 of 26, 12 rebounds for Aaliyah Boston. And as good as that line looks, there were a couple of times tonight where Aaliyah Boston would sure enough have you scratching your head. You were like, what are you doing? I got to tell you, Mahisha Hines-Allen was clutch tonight. I understand that says 5 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. You might be like, really, Rhodes? Had a blow.
Sydney Taylor went completely off in the third quarter, pouring in 25 points across an 11-minute stretch and single-handedly dragging Chicago back into contention. The Sky outscored Indiana 39 to whatever in that third period and forced overtime off a deficit that should have been unassailable. The final box score will show a Fever victory, and that counts. But giving up 106 points to a 4-win team and needing overtime to close it out is not a blueprint that holds up against better competition.
3 assists. You might be like, really, Rhodes? Had a block that was a beauty. She was an absolute beast. Michaela Timpson only had 4 points, but added 6 really, really crucial rebounds in this game. Lexi Hall, 32 minutes, 11 points, 3 of 13. Yuck. Kelsey Mitchell, at times, Kelsey looked real bad in this game. Real bad.
The offensive talent on this roster is evident. Clark and Boston forming a double-double tandem on the same night is a legitimate weapon. Clark's playmaking in particular was a highlight, with sharp interior passes and difficult mid-range looks that kept the defense off balance. One subplot worth noting is the Michaela Timpson dynamic. The argument being made in some corners is that Timpson, arguably the most explosive athlete on the roster, is being underutilized in the half-court offense.
Real bad in this game. Real bad. 7 of 17, 19 points, 3 assists. She actually had a couple of really sweet assists, but there was some times where she took some nonsensical shots that just had you shaking your head. It was like, why would you even consider shooting that? But we know she's not real big on giving the ball up. So,
a pick-and-roll partnership between her and Clark, where Timpson actually gets the ball in a position to finish, is something that has not been developed into a consistent option. That pairing has visible potential that the current system has not fully unlocked. Nalissa Smith remains one of the better value acquisitions on the team. The $800,000 allocated elsewhere on the roster is a much harder figure to justify based on current returns.
Big on giving the ball up. So, this game's dedicated to Sophie, who was on the bench. By the way, I think she was wearing an elbow sleeve. However, I should point out multiple times she was on the sideline waving her arms all over the place during the game. And I'm like, a hurt elbow? What are we doing? Sophie, if you got a hurt elbow, what are you doing waving those arms all over the place? But right there, we pour one out for Sophie not playing in this game. I think all of us suspect we know why. Heavens, this is funny, folks. I have to show it. This is we got footage of how Sophie Cunningham actually hurt her elbow.
Oh my
right
God.
here.
It's broken.
Yep. That's how she actually messed up the elbow. Messed up the elbow. Man, behind the scenes footage is serious business. So, I want to point this out. Just like the Indiana Fever made the game not about the game, but about an injury, that's because of a history now nobody believes in. Bang up PR job, but sure, it's the fans' fault. Caitlin Clark with some sick handles in this game. Right here, going to come down the court. I mean, what are we talking about? Look at her hit this Jordan fadeaway, turn around fadeaway. I mean, that's sick. That was nice with the one-handed fadeaway. How about Caitlin Clark with
in that
some,
second quarter, and that's
sick passing? Look at that into Michaela Timpson, one dribble. I got to tell you,